This is Pat Soundbytes Unplugged, the podcast where all the artists go to tell it as it is. Careers, music, tours, and more. And here's your host, the man that refuses to eat squid, Pat Calamari.
Hey, Pat Calamari here. Welcome to Pat Soundbytes Unplugged podcast. Hopefully you are well. Please wear a mask. Please wear a mask. Please wear a mask. I don't care what anybody says. Wear a mask. That should be like a song. Wear a mask. Please. Man, am I missing live shows. I don't know about you. It's driving me crazy. But you know what? This is... Say what you want about this lockdown, but this lockdown has been incredible for me because all the artists and bands are home. So I've been one after the other, whether it's on this podcast or it's whether on a Zoom. And you know me keeping new music alive on the radio and now on video. It's been a little bit easier, especially if they have released a single and video or one or the other, to reach out to management, publicists, the label, and try to set up a quick chat. So I'm telling you, July will always, as much as I miss live shows, and my last live show was with Roger Hodgkin, formerly of Supertramp, on Valentine's night, February 14th. Or maybe that was the 15th. It was like either one of those days. I think it was the 15th. I look back and go, man, how much I miss those shows and miss going locally right here to Daryl's House Club, which they're doing live streaming now. Although, you know, you can go there for dinner inside or outside, but they're closed for the live streaming for the shows, which is like, But anyway, you know, July, the Scorpions, I've been doing everything. One of my interviews, one of my Zoom chats, not only was I posted by the Scorps on their Facebook page, but it's also on their website. I've been talking about hitting lotto. I'll take it. So, yeah, we're going through this crisis, and yeah, let's hopefully see it end to this and get back to whatever the new norm could be. And I just wish everybody being safe. Please wear a mask. But yeah, I'm still excited. And I got to share with you excitement. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and follow my podcast, whether it's on iHeart or Spotify or Apple or Simplecast, Deezer, Pandora. Please subscribe, share. I'm speechless when it comes to things like that when I have over 10,000 downloads throughout the world. So thank you. Continue to support and continue to subscribe. And by all means, don't hesitate to reach out to me and, tell me what you think. Give me your feedback, good or bad. That's what it's all about. Pat Soundbytes on Twitter, Pat's Soundbytes IGTV on Instagram, Facebook, Pat Soundbytes on YouTube. And I do have a Patreon page, an early fan club. You can join the fan club, Tier 1, early access to find out the list of great artists that I'm interviewing and got upcoming. I really don't share that with anyone. I could do shout outs, cameos, whatever you need me to do. And then I have exclusive content just about from every interview, whether it's on phone or on video, of artists just doing a special exclusive something for my Patreon supporters. So how cool is that? Anyway, this is another great one. I got to meet this rock legend, rock and roll Hall of Famer last year. I've had the opportunity to chat with him before. He's such a humble and wonderful gentleman and a wonderful soul. And I'm talking about the Moody Blues, John Lodge. And John just released a song called In These Crazy Times. And certainly it is crazy times that we are living in these crazy times isolation mix. And it's a cool track. And I've been playing it. And I got to speak to John. He was in Florida. He tells you the story. Got done with a tour. Was visiting his son down in Florida, his daughter-in-law and grandson. And before you know it, we're in lockdown, or he would have been back home in the UK and had some shows lined up. But I got to say, man, he took advantage of his time and figured it all out and got his family involved. And what a way to celebrate his 75th birthday this past Monday. 75 years young, and John is still going strong, and he will always, as he says, will always be a Moody Blues. And we talk about the other guys and maybe a new Moody's album, and we share a lot of information, talk about the Royal Affair Tour, talk about obviously this song, and a whole lot more. So I hope you enjoy it as much as I have. As I always say, I hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as I have, because I certainly do. And I'm thinking questions that you would ask outside the box, different little things. You know, when a guy like John Lodge, I don't have to worry about who his influences are. He's probably been asked that a trillion times. I try to think differently. So, and he says he's working on a few things, so maybe we'll get to go to a show and get John to roll the dice. How cool will that be? The 5-for-it-all dice game. Everybody wants to roll the dice. Okay, enough of me. Time for some John Lodge. As always, live, love, and laugh a lot, because life is way too short.
Hi, this is John Lodge of the Moody Blues, and you're listening to Pat's Soundbytes Unplugged.
WBXO Classic Rock Redefined in conjunction with Pat Soundbytes Unplugged podcast. Such an honor again to have the opportunity to speak to legendary bassist, vocalist, songwriter of the great rock band, the Moody Blues. I'm talking about Rock and Roll Hall of Famer and my good friend, Mr. John Lodge. How are you, John?
Yeah, Pat, thank you very much. Yeah, good, thank you. Hope you're all staying safe there.
This is crazy, John. John just released a single called In These Crazy Times Isolation Mix, which is available on Amazon and iTunes and all the streaming services to purchase, and I ask that you please purchase it. And man, John, what a perfect title. I mean, are we not living in crazy times? The last time we chatted last year, and we met at the Royal Affair Tour with backstage with you and your wonderful daughter Emily, and here we are about a year later, almost a year later, and we're in this crazy lockdown mode, which is like unbelievable. So I take it while you're sitting in, I believe, Florida, you said, well, I might as well grab the guitar and write about something. So is that how this all started?
Yeah, I mean, I did a cruise earlier on this show, Rock and Romance, with Jefferson Starship. Well, I did with Don Felder and Jason Schiff. We had a great time. America, Cheap Trick. We had a fabulous time. Then I went on tour afterwards, and I finished in Boston March the 9th. And I came down to Florida to see my son and my grandson, and my wife was down here waiting for me, so we could have a couple of weeks of vacation before I flew back to England, because I've got some concerts in England, and I was doing the 50th anniversary of the Isle of Wight as well. And then, well, lo and behold, like 4 days later, I'm in lockdown, and suddenly it's just me and my wife, and I can't see anybody. And I thought, what happened to this world, you know? And, you know, I play my guitars and bass every day anyway. So I thought, well, I'll just start playing, you know. And I didn't have really any recording equipment here at all. So I went out and bought myself an Apple computer and some really nice Yamaha powered speakers and the keyboard and GarageBand. And I thought, well, I better learn how to use all this. And while I was using that, while I was working out, I sat down one day and I'd written this intro to a song which says, set the mode up for me. And then this song, In These Crazy Times, just basically played itself within about 30 minutes. I couldn't believe it.
That is excellent, and it's certainly a song that I think all of us can relate to in this strange situation that we're in, and I listened to it a bunch of times, and we've already played it on my show, which is Keeping New Music Alive on the radio, and I believe it's about keeping the faith, right, and staying together, and hopefully, I know down the road we're going to get all through this. Is that the pretty much the idea behind the song, John?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's like a complete little story in its own, really, because the idea was I was sitting on my own doing nothing, thinking, oh, how sad it is for me, as we all do, I suppose. And then I suddenly realised, hang around a bit, this is quite inspirational because we're all in this together, the first time really in the whole world that we're all in this together. And I thought, let's all think about what we're going to be doing afterwards, in this new world or whatever. And I thought, that's inspirational because we've got to find something, the energy, and keeping the music alive, as you just said, it's the most important thing for me, because without music, I think we're all lost.
Absolutely, and I am blessed to be able to play new music all the time, and that I think people are grasping for that, especially nowadays when we're pretty much home. You're looking for something to generate towards, and I think it's a great song. And this song is really a family affair, as you said. You're locked out. It's your wife, it's your son, it's your daughter-in-law, and everybody pretty much is involved, which is really a first. I see your wife is on backing vocals and your son on lead guitar. That's pretty cool.
It was really cool. I mean, I finished the song, recorded all my parts, and I thought, just a minute, who's going to do the backing vocals? I said to my wife, come on, I set up this little sound room. You've got to come and sing this song. She said, I don't sing. I said, you've got a great voice, and I taught her the song, and she sort of got it in 2 takes. I couldn't believe it. And I think the balance between her voice and mine is really good. I really like the sound. I couldn't believe it. And then my son, who's plays guitar for a hobby, it's not what he wants to do with his life, but he's a Dave Gilmour fan, and I said, come on, you've got to play guitar on Dad's song, So I sent him the files, he played the guitar, and then he came back and went, wow, I've been missing something here. And then, as you said, I was on the Royal Affair tour last year with John Davison and Yes, and John's been kind enough to be on the road with me during my concert tour of America this year. So I rang John up and said, would you do the backing vocals on this song? He said, yes, I'd love to. So I sent him the files, he put his vocals on, it all came back to me. And then I sent it to my front-of-house engineer, who you met probably at the Royal Affair tour. And I said, Ray, mix this as though it's a concert. I think that's the best way to do it, so we can get some real energy. I know it's a slow song, but we can still get energy behind it. And he did just that. And we mixed it a couple of times till we got it, as I felt was really right. And then I said, I need a photograph. So I got my daughter-in-law, said, get the camera. He took the photograph, and my daughter, as you know, manages me. And she put the whole project together. And it's just been wonderful. And I thought, this is it, This is, I started off with one person in my little room here, and then I've got the whole family all into it, and we were having a great time with it.
What a wonderful story. I mean, something you can always look back on. That is terrific. It's, after all these years, to read that it was the first time that, your wife and your son both, never been on a record or recorded before, so that is really cool. And, and the song, as I said before, resonates with everybody. So it's a home run. I'm sure you grabbed a bottle of your wonderful wine and toasted to everybody and said, good job.
I did that. I opened a bottle of wine and we all celebrated, and we're having, it's the response to the song is really fantastic. I'm really pleased, and so I said, we had a little salute to the song, and then my wife and my son said, "Okay, Dad, when's the check arriving?"
Well, that's the important part, as I emphasize for folks to purchase, go on the streaming services and purchase. Right? Where's the check? Come on, Dad. What are we doing? Well, that's a great story, and it put a smile on my face. And before I forget, happy birthday! I saw Monday was your birthday, so you had another great celebration to hang out with your family and your grandchildren.
Yeah, we had we had a fabulous night, fabulous evening. The weather was beautiful for us, and we sat outside, social distancing and everything else, and we had a lovely time and played a lot of music. Fortunately, my whole family loved music, and even my grandson's 12, and he's learning guitar and clarinet, you know, and I'm teaching him his Life Strange at the moment, so you never know, we might get a clarinet solo on his Life Strange next.
I love it. I love it. John, would you agree with me? I mean, there's no touring going on, and I'm a dinosaur. I mean, I go back to the 70s, and I remember bands, and I'm not sure if the Moody's was one of those bands, but I remember bands that would just constantly write. So they go on tour, and they didn't have to rush to go into the studio to hurry up and produce another album. And today, as you just did, with one single, I would think that bands would take advantage of this time being home and record and write as much as possible. Because once the touring starts, which we all miss, the live shows, I mean, people would be on the road. So would you agree that, I mean, if you're sitting home, boy, you should really be writing and get ahead of the curve as much as you could?
Well, I'm trying to. I've got sort of 5 different projects going on at the moment, 5 different songs going on.
Nice.
Yeah, with different people, and I'm really excited about all of them, But you're absolutely right. I was when I was in lockdown, I thought, how am I going to make this time really, really worthwhile? I mustn't waste this time. You could sit around being lethargic and moaning and whatever, but why not be creative and take the time and explore what you do with your life? Just what you do. You may be a painter, you may be a carpenter, you may be anything. It doesn't really matter. But use this time to explore it, because no one's interfering with you. There's not people hammering on you, to do different things. Just do what you want to do right now, and you never know what you're going to create. All of us together.
Absolutely, and we always take it for granted. I even myself, I look back to think of my last live show was in February to see Roger Hodgkin of Supertramp. And what's your thoughts, John, on getting back on stage, your first show in front of a live audience? I mean, as you said, your last show was March the 9th, and I'm sure you got to be so excited to think that.
I don't know what's going to happen, to be honest. It hasn't been cancelled yet, so I've got my fingers crossed, but I'm supposedly doing the Flower Power cruise out of Miami next year, the end of March, I think, or beginning of April. That hasn't been cancelled yet, as far as I know. And if that's happened, I hope to be doing some concerts across the States directly after that, But who knows whether we're going to be allowed to. I really don't know. I'm trying to be really positive. I'm talking to my band all the while, and we're doing things together, and we're discussing, what songs we should do on the next tour, and we sort of put a stage show together, but I don't know when that's going to be. I really don't, and I love live music myself, I'll go to a local bar, a local, whatever. In Florida, there's lots of little places where live bands are playing, but they're not now, and I love just live music.
Right. I mean, it just drives me crazy that there's nothing going on. I mean, I met you at the Royal Affair tour, John, and what a fantastic set list and what a fantastic performance by yourself, and as well as the Asia and the Carl Palmers, and obviously, yes, at the end of the whole tour, do you evaluate with Duffy and the guys and go, man, we really hit it out of the park, and how we can improve next time? How does that work for you?
Yeah, we do that. We do that every night. Before we go on stage, we all go into a huddle, and just give everybody the energy, the love that you need to go on stage. We do that every night. And when we come back off stage, we do exactly the same, and we talk about it, and we'll say, oh yes, whatever, and this was the best show, or last night was better than tonight. We talk about it, and it's really important because then everybody, if anybody plays something fantastic, it's great for the rest of the guys to go, do you know, that was brilliant tonight. And if you've done something not quite right, you need to be able to own up to everyone, and everybody knows, but there's a great camaraderie within the band. The band is fantastic. I love every one of the musicians in the 10,000 Light Year Band. And I'm hoping, one of the projects I'm doing at the moment is I'm mixing our concerts. I hope to be mixing our concert that we did on the Royal Affair. So that'll come out as an album at some time, maybe next spring, the Royal Affair to John Lodge.
Wow, that'd be great. Looking forward to that. Let me switch gears really quick and talk about the Moody's. Do you keep in touch and contact with Justin and Graham and Mike at all? And how's that go?
Yeah, I'm in touch with everyone all the while. Graham lives not far. Graham lives in Florida, so if I'm doing any concerts within 100 miles, Graham comes along and is a great supporter, comes along to the show, And I've tried to grab him on stage a few times, but I use the spoken word. Actually, I do Graham's poem on stage, and I asked Graham if he'd go back in the studio and record it for me from Days of Future Past. And he went in the studio, and I actually performed that on stage for Graham because it's a beautiful piece of poetry. And then, we still got our Threshold Records company, and Justin's part of that, I'm part of that, and so we talk to each other really by emails. We're just a different, long way away from each other now. He's, he lives in Monaco, and I'm, living everywhere just like a gypsy. We finished 2018 on the Days of Future Past tour with orchestra, and that was a fabulous time celebrating Days of Future Past, So, but I am a Moody Blue, always will be a Moody Blue, And if there's a Moody Blue tour, I'd just definitely say yes to it because, as I say, I spent my life, writing songs for the Moody Blues and hopefully creating some interesting bass parts that other bass players can follow, whatever.
Absolutely, and boy, would love to. Let me just ask, I'm sure there's a chance, but any chance of a maybe new Moody Blues record down the road?
Well, the problem is you need a record company where we've always had great support from record companies, from particularly just one music man within the company. When we were with Decca, we had Sir Edward Lewis, who set up Decca Records in the USA as well. And he was a real music man, and he believed everything we were doing. And he was with us right till like 1980. And then David Braun took over, and he was a real music man, and loved what we were doing. And then suddenly started to filter out, when, to be honest, when the lawyers and the economists took over record companies, and things changed, and it wasn't, for me, it wasn't the same. If I could find a music man that really loved the Moody Blues and really wanted to make the Moody Blues, a new record and be behind us, that'd be a different situation, but I can't see that happening.
Okay, well, that makes all the sense in the world, and I certainly appreciate your honesty about it. One thing I love, John, about you is you're always giving back to charities. I got a note here. You're a trustee on the Sandy Lane Charitable Trust, which is dealing with children. I saw last year you performed in a private charity, Veterans Support Fund in Florida. I mean, you're always giving back and helping out, and I think that is so important anymore, especially these times, these days. So thank you very much for doing that, and I'm sure that means a lot to you to always help out when you can.
Yeah, if you're in a position you can help out, and I'm in a wonderful position really because of the music, I think music just lets everyone, doesn't matter whether you listen to a song for 3 minutes or you listen to an album for 40 minutes or you listen to music all day. For me, it elevates you. If I'm feeling depressed, if I put a record on, I can come back, and go, yeah, I'm happy.
Music connects all of us together. It does something to our soul, and we, even for an hour or 2 hours, it puts a smile on our face and puts us in a different mindset. And there's something about that. And like I said, there's something about live performance. I've never walked into a show that's seen a very a poor performance. Maybe it was the sound or something, but you guys hit it off really well last year, and I look forward to catching you again on tour. The song In These Crazy Times, we've been playing it, have gotten excellent feedback. Again, now available on Amazon, iTunes, and all streaming services to purchase. And go and purchase, because John's wife and son and daughter-in-law are waiting for that check. Hurry up.
I keep telling him it's in the post.
It's in the mail, right, John?
It's in the mail.
How's the wine business going, by the way?
Well, it's wonderful, because if no one wants to buy it, at least I can celebrate with my own wine.
There you go, right, dude. And they can go to your website, right, John, and check out and purchase your wine. Is that how we can go to?
Yeah, it's called Krisemma. And that's after my son and daughter, Christian and Emily, and I call the wine Krisemma. And we've had lots of fun with it. We actually won an award for being the best Chardonnay white wine out of Africa, a worldwide award. I couldn't believe it, but there you go. It's something. Another door opened, and I had a quick look inside, just like House of Foodles.
Well, congratulations to that, and congratulations on this fine single, In These Crazy Times, Isolation Mix. John, I hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as I have. It's always a pleasure to have you on the line, and I can't thank you enough for spending time with me last year backstage up in Bethel Woods, up in Woodstock. It was a pleasure to meet you and Emily and Duffy and everybody. It was a really good time.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the interview, and you keep safe and keep that music alive.
Absolutely, John. We love you. John Lodge of the Moody Blues, and In These Crazy Times, right here on WBXO, where we are classic rock redefined in conjunction with Pat Soundbytes Unplugged.